Hey everybody, Coach Willem here, and I have not been on the social medias for a while, so here I am, I'm back, and I'm coming at you today with a different thing. So typically I talk about fitness stuff and exercises and all these different things, right? But today I'm going to talk to you about something that I learned yesterday that immediately I was able to apply, but also I had a conversation with our members this morning about this subject. So what happened is this weekend I was traveling and I started getting irritated because of the GPS and just not knowing the route of where I was. Now, for me, I've always been someone who's tried to practice patience, mindfulness, and it applies into other areas of my life, whether it's a stressful situation, whether it's the decisions I'm making with what I'm eating, and all these other areas. So for me in this situation, I started getting irritable and wanted to snap at the people I was with because I was driving. I was trying to figure out where I needed to go. I realized that wouldn't have been helpful. So what I started to put together was I could always practice mindfulness and being patient in a controlled environment when I'm meditating, when I'm at home, and I know the environment and the context that I'm in. I'm able to catch myself because that's an ideal situation. I know that I can practice my patience and mindfulness. But what I realized was in the moments where I didn't control the environment and it wasn't an ideal situation to be practicing mindfulness and patience, I would lose it, right? Not technically like lose my mind, but it was just, I would lose the mindfulness. I would lose my patience and I wouldn't accomplish what I would have wanted because of that. So this weekend, what I realized was I need to put into action in the most unideal situation of what I've been practicing. So what I mean by that is when I was getting a little bit upset and just irritated with not knowing where to go, I decided that, hey, this is the time to practice patience and mindfulness and to control myself. And that's the only thing I had control of in the situation was myself. And the situation wasn't right. I was just really upset, but then it hit me. I was like, oh, I only practice this when I'm in an ideal situation, when I'm at home or when I'm meditating. Like, it's always handy dandy. And in the situations where it was extremely stressful, I never did it, right? So it hit me. I was like, oh, I'm not applying what I'm learning when I need it the most. And it helped me. It immediately helped me where I'm like, oh, here's what I need to do. I need to take these steps back. I need to breathe. I need to gather my thoughts. All those things that I do to allow me to gather my own thoughts. So what I want to say is if you've been practicing mindfulness or patience, or let's say in better context that's more relevant to what we're doing here, nutrition, right, and fitness. If you're in a situation where you're like, oh, I don't want to cook because I had a long day at work, my boss yelled at me, it's easier to just go and order a pizza, that's the time you need to put into action what you've been working at, is knowing that this is the time where I'm like, no, I'm not that person. I'm not the person who decides to lose all my integrity because I've had a bad day or because the situation I'm in is not ideal. No, it's practicing what you've been learning and putting it into action in those moments. So hopefully this helps you. If you have anything that you've experienced like this, I'd love to hear what you have to say.